Almost fell. It's the final show. Ooh. And while we wait for some folks to come in, yes, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna send it to everybody we know. I'm gonna send it to all my peoples, my peoples, my peoples, my peoples, 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 peoples. Happy Wednesday, everybody. How are you? I hope that you're well. I have this song stuck in my head. So, no, that's not the song that I had stuck in my head. But I like this song, so we're going to leave it. I got to mute it because you know what Instagram likes to do is that it likes to like shut off lives when you play music. So, yeah. Hi, everybody. Let me turn my volume up. Happy Wednesday. How was your weekend? How's your week been? That's the question. My week was okay. Didn't have work Monday and Tuesday. Was back at work today. It was pretty chill and and yeah, that was it. Welcome to the last show. First off, welcome everybody out there to Shifts and Giggles, where I reach out to the world to talk to some people that I know and some that I don't, and we get to the shit that has led to shifts and hopefully have some laughs along the way. I said I would be popping bottles tonight. I said I would be popping bottles tonight, but imaginary smoke. Bitches said it so and put it on the floor. I'm not. Instead, I took an edible. Hope you don't mind. Tonight's gonna be a fun time. I had something that I wanted to say, but I totally forgot. So we can just go ahead and like get to it. Today is a very special guest. I've had the privilege of knowing this guest for 2 years now. Maybe 3 years. We're in 2023 still. 2 years. She's a writer, she's a director, she's a producer. Her name is Temese. Ooh, I didn't like that. Her name is Temese Chavis. I love that song. Anyway, Temese, come on, let's go. Wait. I approved you. Accept. Come in. Are you in?
Am I?
Yes. Hi, boo.
Hey, boo. I
How
don't
are
do
you?
live, so if I seem like an old lady,
Listen, the first couple of episodes, that's what I had to do because I wasn't used to doing lives either. And so
yeah.
at first I tested them out on my personal page just to see like how that went. And then if you listen or if you watch the first couple of episodes, you hear me talking about how I don't know what I'm doing and how I don't normally get on lives, but now I be on the lives. And yeah. First of all, welcome to my show.
Thank you, girl.
For those who do not know you, tell them who you are.
So my name is Temese Chavis, and let's see, what can I tell people about me? I have written a show that I'm hoping is picking like ASAP. Sorry, that's my cat.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm a Black girl that likes cats.
Yay! My daughter loves cats. We don't have any, but she loves them.
Girl, she's a mess. My cat is a mess. I'm a writer, producer, actress, been directing lately. Yeah. So All of the above.
All of the above.
All of the
All
above. Yeah, yeah.
of the above. You
Yes.
have multiple, hey, Michael, you have multiple titles under your belt.
By accident.
Is it really by accident?
It is. It is. It is. It's really by accident. I'll tell you why. Because I've been acting for I probably want to say I don't want to disclose how old I am, for like 20 years, right?
Well, anybody could be acting for 20 years.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. And so when I went to grad school, at NYU, and I learned how to uh like produce and work on my own films and stuff like that. And I was like, this is a perfect way for me to get myself in to the business. And years later, I was auditioning and I wasn't really hitting it the way I wanted to. I had a couple little things, but it just wasn't hitting. And I was like, you know what? Can I curse?
Yes.
Okay. I was just like, fuck it. I'm gonna write myself in my own shit. And
that's
that's
what
what
you
I
did.
did. Yes. And that's what, yep. And that's what I've been doing. And I actually, honestly, I would have to say I love it almost as much or more than just acting alone.
Okay. Why?
Um, because you feel in control of the characters that you create. Like, if I watch TV and I say, you know what, I want to see somebody like this, or I'd like to play somebody like this, or, you know, this feels more realistic to me, I could write that character. I don't need to wait for somebody to randomly write something that I feel comfortable doing. And then I can tell the stories that getting text message, getting stories that I feel like I want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
I want to see, well, I'll wait for you to ask me that.
Well, no, I completely understand. I spent most of my experience as an actor, and did some modeling, did music for a while. My issue with acting is I always felt like, and it's not an issue, it's part of the business. I always feel like I'm begging for
Yeah.
them to see my talent and see my potential and pick me for the role.
Yeah.
That it's frustrating, it's annoying, especially since I've seen, well, I won't go there well, maybe I will. I've seen people, and this is no shade to anybody at all, but I've seen people who, I want to be mindful of my words.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I'm not trying to shade anybody, but I know my potential. I know what I can do. And I've seen people who can't do what I do, or who don't know how to do what I do. And their careers are wildly different than mine.
Yeah.
And it's almost as if I feel like I'm begging from the outside looking in. For me, it feels like I feel like I'm begging. And for them, it's just handed. Which might not be what it is. It probably isn't what it is. But also, like, being an actor, sometimes this shit takes a toll on you.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a toll on you mentally. And so I get where you're saying, where you decided that you were just gonna write your own stuff.
Yeah.
I wrote a project, it didn't. Anyway, we could talk about that another time. But I felt more fulfilled in writing that project than I did when I was just auditioning, and begging to be seen and begging to be cast and all of that stuff. So I get it. Did you always know that you wanted to be in entertainment?
Yes. Since I was little. I was laying in the bed. I'll never forget that. No. It happened to me twice. I was 9 years old. I'm from California. And I remember me and my mom, I was in the back seat and I was listening to the radio, and my mom was driving, and I heard somebody on the radio, and I was like, I want to do that. And she was like, you want to be a disc jockey? I was like, I think so, but I want my voice on the airwaves. Like, I said that at 9 years old. I didn't really want to get into radio, but I found the host entertaining. And then I was about 12, and I was watching TV, and then all of a sudden I got off the bed and I was like, I'm gonna be an actress. And that was it. And I
That was it.
knew. That was it.
That was it.
It's like
Wow.
you know, people said, why did you come to it? I don't feel anybody in their right fucking mind goes after this. I feel like people are called. It calls you.
Yes.
Because you have to be out of your mind to try to chase this, right?
Yeah. I was just thinking there has to be a level of crazy in you.
It's a level of insanity. Yeah, for sure. It looks like it's glitz and glamour, but it's a lot of skill. It's a lot of skill. It's a lot of experience. It's a lot of rejection, a shitload of rejection.
It's a lot of breaking yourself. And it not only does the industry break you down, but it's a lot of you breaking yourself down.
Yeah. It's a mental toll, one, and then you're right. It's and you know what? This is what I found. When I started writing and producing my own stuff, I realized all the bullshit that I went through as an actress, I went through it for nothing, because the reality is it has nothing to do with you. You could be a great actress. You could be skilled. You could be professional. And it ain't got shit to do with you, because you just may not look like the type. You might be too short. Right. I mean, it's literally, it's just like that. So for me, when I started casting for my own stuff, I was like, had I known as an actor what I know now, casting, I would have never took this shit so seriously. Meaning I would have never thought that it was something against me. It's almost like when life coaches tell you, you know, if they don't love you, if a man doesn't love you, or for one, you know, whatever they tell you, it's not you. You know, because they don't see the value in you. It has nothing to do with you. And it is really literally the reality of the situation. So I feel, quite honestly, and I don't want to go on a tangent, but I feel like, quite honestly, you have to be batshit crazy to stay in it, because your mind will go into all different directions, and you'll think you're supposed to be someplace that you're actually not even ready to be yet. Yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah.
You actually think you need to be someplace that you are not ready to be yet.
Yep.
I don't know who needed to hear that. It was probably me. It was probably me.
Yeah. It's just, it's, you need to learn certain things. I've learned more as a writer, producer about acting than as an actor. And God always had that plan for me. What I've learned doing everything from behind the scenes, I've learned more than taking and I've been at every acting school in New York you could fucking think of, and spent thousands and thousands of dollars to learn things that I actually could have learned on my own, you know, doing this.
Yeah. What was your transition from California to New York like? And how did that shape you as an artist?
Okay, well, I actually transitioned from California to Louisiana. I went to an all-black college, and I stayed there for 4 years, and then I came to New York, and that was an eye-opener, because I was in Louisiana at an all-black college, and then I came to New York, and it's like a melting pot. California is like that too, but New York really, really is. And I kind of transitioned a little smoothly because I started networking a lot when I was in my 20s, and it's almost like I was blindly moving. So I didn't have the opportunity to pay attention to where I was at emotionally and mentally. I was so ambitious and so ambitious and I don't know I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it'll come to me. But I was very, very ambitious, and I was just moving, and I was moving faster than I could actually imagine.
Right.
So I can't really tell you emotionally what that transaction was like, but it was great because I was in my 20s, and I was just networking. I was existing. And
Yeah.
struggle was real. The struggle
Baby,
bus was real.
the struggle is always real, especially
Girl,
in New York, because
yes.
there are so many different struggles, so many levels of each struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Do you
Yeah.
miss LA? Would you ever go back? Do you think
The
that that is in your future for your career?
the Bay, no. I love New York. And I'm gonna tell you why. I had never intended to get into theater.
Uh-huh.
That I went to film school.
Uh-huh.
I took theater classes, and I had never intended to get into theater. And theater came to me. I didn't come to it. And I feel
Okay.
like that's what happens in New York.
Okay.
Things come to you, and if you can, and I hate to say this, but it's almost like if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. It's the energy of this city
Yeah.
that sort of propels you into greatness. And I don't know that I can make that transition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you ever go back to doing film?
Oh
Okay.
yeah. I want to be the female Tyler Perry girl.
Okay now.
Please. I want to do both.
Okay now. Okay now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna talk confessions.
Okay.
So for those of y'all who don't know, I am an actress and I have been cast in this lovely woman's play, Confessions. We did a show in March. We have a couple of shows coming up in February.
Yep.
And y'all need to get tickets, so follow both of us so we can
Yep.
keep you in the loop.
Yep.
But tell everybody what Confessions is about.
So Confessions is about a matchmaker that lives in Harlem that is a matchmaker, and I'll say this, and I always pitch it like this, for Black love. And
Yeah.
that's what's different,
Uh-huh.
because she's not just a matchmaker, she is matchmaking Black people to have healthy relationships. And I think that's what makes the show different, and it chronicles the lives of her and her very successful friend group, and what Black relationships look like in this time, with this specific generation, which is the millennial generation.
Okay. My friends Ronnie and Angela dropped in the chat. They came to the show. They said it was
Hey.
good. Okay. How much of this show is based off of life experience?
Oh.
All of it.
Mm-hmm.
All of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every date that Alana goes on, I meant to say this about the show. Not only is she a matchmaker, she's a matchmaker who can't find love herself. I think that's the most important thing, and I forgot that. But it's every date I've been on, every shitty date I've been on, every shitty date that I've heard about, and every friend that she has is a representation of somebody I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How hard do you think that it is finding? How hard do you think that it is for Black women to find love, to find
Oh,
happiness?
well, let's get into that, girl. I don't need to
Let's
get
go.
into the statistics of it, but when we started doing the research and how important this was, because I'm gonna get into that, and I don't mean to segue, but when I first started writing Confessions in 2015 as a web series, and initially it was just two characters, and it wasn't about Black love, right? It was just about, I wrote it because I had a problem finding love myself. And I woke up one day, and this is why I'm getting into this. I woke up one day and it just became this thing where I was like, no, this has to be about Black people. Right. And this has to be about her wanting to push Black people to have a relationship. Mm-hmm. And when I started really, really digging into it and doing research, 72% of Black women are single and single mothers. And I said, this makes sense as to why, there's generations from, especially me and my mother divorced, my grandmother. We have had, don't get me wrong, there are Black women who have successful relationships, but they are far few in between. And the more educated we are, the older we get, the more difficult it becomes for us to have a healthy relationship. And when I did the statistics based on Latino women, by far more, at least 80%, 82% of Latino women after the age of 30, and don't quote me exactly on this number, are married, while 72% of Black women are single. White women, the numbers go up at least to 89%. And so that got me to thinking, why is it so much more difficult for Black women, and I want to say this, Black women in America, to be married and have a relationship? A lot of it is Black men being incarcerated, dying early. I mean, the list goes on. It goes on. Yeah. So this is to me, it's a great topic. And I think Black women need to understand how to have healthy relationships. I don't think a lot of us were not taught to have healthy relationships because we were raised by single moms. I could go into all of that, girl, but so.
This is, and my friend Ronnie, what about the ones who are alive? Explain more about that, Ronnie, but also the misogyny. This is I feel like I'm sweating because this is such an interesting conversation. Just your listing of the statistics alone, as a Black woman, Black women, we understand. Right? We're like, oh, we get it. And there are a multitude of reasons, which, yes, we can say that there is a higher percentage of Black men incarcerated, but we can also say that there is also not a higher, but a high percent of Black men who have a form of self-hatred and therefore cannot see themselves with Black women. They don't value or respect the Black women in their lives, so they don't value or respect Black women, so they choose not to date them. Thank you. Self-hatred.
Ironically, the Black men who are married statistically
are mostly married to Black women.
Black women, yeah, which is crazy because the media portrays it as one thing. Somebody was saying something about, them being dead and in jail is one thing, but there are so many outside. The thing is, there's a couple things that I'm finding is that we're not taught great conflict resolution skills. That's number one, right? So we don't know how to communicate with each other. We don't know how to really tell each other what our needs and our wants are. And Black men are promoted oftentimes to not get married. They don't understand the value of marriage. Media portrays that. Unfortunately, a lot of our music portrays that, and Black men in America particularly don't understand the value in marriage. I probably already said that, but why marriage is so important. You have a very small percentage that do, and I don't want to lump everybody in the same category. And listen, and I say this in my show all the time. Black women are partly responsible for it too, only because we can oftentimes be a little bit hardened, and I'm guilty of that too, right? So let me give you an example. I'm a mother and a father. Literally, I'm my daughter's mother and father. So I find myself with having a little bit more masculine traits because I have to. Right. And so although that's my circumstance, I still need to learn how to communicate and how to nurture a man in my relationship. And because I came from a single mom that was a mother and a father, I didn't necessarily see that growing up. You know, so we have this hard exterior, but we have to figure out how to demolish that in relationships. Now, on the flip side, and I say this in my show too, men need to understand that just because a woman has a little bit of a hard exterior and the circumstances, they need to be leaders. And oftentimes Black men don't know how to lead. And that contributes to the food that they eat. They don't have a lot of testosterone. There's so many issues within the Black community that are systematic that have contributed to the fact that we don't have these successful relationships. Black men in particular that's been raised only by women, you find that they have a lot of feminine qualities. So they don't know how to lead. You know, they haven't been taught that.
Which is crazy, because if you're a Black man who grew up in a single parent home and your mother was the caretaker, the caregiver, she led. So why didn't they learn how to lead?
Because a woman can't teach a man how to lead, because we're not men.
Right.
Just like men cannot teach women how to be submissive or submit, not submissive, but submit. See, the idea is this, and if you wanted to go to biblical, is God, man, woman. So man submits to God, woman submits to man, but submitting is not what certain men think that it is.
They think of it as they are dominant, that they dominate.
It's not about control. Yes. It's not about them controlling. It's almost like the same with me as a leader. I'm leading this group, right? A part of my leadership abilities is to allow the other leaders that are amongst me to be able to lead in great areas, right? I gotta fall back sometimes.
Right.
And sometimes men think that's about control, and it's not about controlling. And when you have a man that really knows how to lead a household, and a woman knows that she's not being led into a ditch, she will submit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. You mentioned that you are a single mom.
Yeah.
You're a single mom. I'm a single mom. We're all single moms. Okay, we're not all single moms, but how has being a single mom affected your dating life?
A lot, because I don't bring men around her.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want her to see me. I don't want her to think that that's how relationships are. I mean, you know, it's a double-edged sword here.
Yeah.
Right? Because, and sometimes when you're that age, and you're not as conscious, sometimes you learn from watching. So if she has nothing to see, my concern with her is that one day she'll have to learn the hard way, like I learned. You know, sometimes it's our subconscious that leads us, right? But then at the same time, there's certain things I don't want, if it doesn't work out with the man and we're only together for a year, I don't want her to see different men strolling in and out.
Yeah.
And then you have to be cautious because you have a little girl. So there are some things that kind of get in the way, but my daughter is almost 16 years old. So I'm very transparent with her now and where, I want to be, because I also don't want her to grow up thinking, because she's like, I don't need a man.
Yeah.
No, you don't need one, but it's great for you to have a partner.
Right.
So, she can get into this idea because she sees me. And I have to become somebody that I necessarily didn't want to have to become. I mean, I want to fall back sometimes and put my feet up. I don't always want to have to lead. That's difficult, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a daughter too. And I remember very early on, like when she got into Barbies, I bought her girl Barbies, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy her a Ken. She has to have a Ken because, Barbie and Ken. And it was always very interesting to me where I was like, oh, here's Ken. And she was like, what? Why? For me, I was like, even though she lives with me and I'm her parent, I want her to know that there are people that come in pairs, right? There are homes with moms and dads, and your toys can have, like, if you want to play house, it can have a mom and dad. And she would just be like, my friends are laughing. She was just like, no. Like she didn't want Ken. She had no interest in Ken. She's actually a very strong um, child, and so I am not dating. And when I was dating, she didn't meet anybody. She is hilarious. When I was dating, she didn't meet anybody. I did make the mistake of allowing her to meet one person, and that didn't go over well. And my biggest concern was, how do I explain that to her? And I simply said, he's not around anymore. And she asked me why. And I was like, because he wasn't serious about us. We deserve someone who is serious about us. Um, and so I think that moving forward, I will continue to not have her meet anybody. I made that mistake one time, and it won't happen again until I know that the next person is serious. How has being a single mom affected your creative life?
She's inspired me. So it's made me better. My daughter is in an art school. My daughter sees me working. My daughter sees, because and this is something that I tell her all the time. You can be talented,
Yeah.
but it means nothing if you don't have skill, if you don't work on that talent, if you don't exercise it, if you don't have the experience, and more importantly, if you're not professional. And these are all things that you need to learn, because you have to be great at something. And so I have to practice what I preach and consistently work on everything that I'm doing. And I show her, well, you see, we had one show, now we have 5. We're gonna go over it. And you never give up. You just keep going, you keep going. And it's difficult, but it also helps your creativity to consistently move forward and consistently work at it. Creativity doesn't just come by osmosis. Although people think it does, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
No,
If you don't use it, you lose it.
you lose it.
And that's for everything, not just creativity. That's for everything. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So you got to work on it every day. And creativity allows you to express it. If she comes in and she says, I'm feeling sad, express that in your art.
Right.
Put that in there.
Right.
I'll write about it. I see crazy characters all the time. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what this person could be doing. Yeah. Circumstances and everything. So it's helped me to consistently work on my creativity and not give up on it.
Hold on 1 second. How can I help you? She don't never ever want to be here, but now she wants to give me hugs.
Look at you, girl. I love that hair.
Say hi.
Hi.
All right. Can you go get in the shower? Yeah. 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 Sorry, everybody. Sorry, Temese. You know, kid break. Okay. What what routines or rituals do you have to keep you grounded, to keep you focused, to keep you, um, to keep a fire under you?
um, I could be a militant person.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I have OCD.
Okay.
Meaning that helps me.
Okay.
Because I can be very regimented.
Mm-hmm.
And being regimented keeps me going. And so that's my routine. I time block. I do everything like that, and you would think that that would interfere my creativity, and it doesn't.
Okay.
So if I need 2 hours to write or a day to write, I take that day to write. I schedule it. I do things like that. When it's time for me to move out of producer mode, writer
Mm-hmm.
mode, and go into actor mode, what I do is I won't do any production. I'm done writing. I'm all the way as an actor again. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I could turn my brain off and on, and
Mm-hmm.
I take the time that I actually need. Another thing that I do, because life be lifing,
Mm-hmm.
is I have to listen to affirmations all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta pray all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Exercising, all those things that they tell you to do,
You do.
vocal therapy, all
Yeah.
of the things that they tell you to do, I do it because it really is about your mind, body, and spirit. So those interpersonal routines sort of help keep me going. Because let me tell you something, it be a shit show
Uh-huh.
sometimes.
Oh yeah. I
I
know that.
mean, this business is not for the faint at heart.
No.
No's, I get told no's by sponsors. I get told no's by producers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm chasing down people every single day, and it can wear and tear at your mind.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I don't do, I try to block out. I know this sounds crazy, but I try to block out social media.
That doesn't sound crazy at all. It doesn't
Yeah.
sound crazy at all. And I say that because I regularly, sometimes when I feel like I want to put the phone away or put the phone down, I'll start to think and I realize that I'm thinking the stuff that I've been scrolling.
Yeah.
And then I have to be like, okay, no.
Yeah.
No. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. And it's just not good. It's not good for you. If it doesn't make you feel good, it's not good for you.
And social media will have you comparing yourself to somebody's highlight reel. Not
Listen.
even somebody's real life, but they highlight reel. And you like, what the fuck am I doing where I'm not
Yes.
here yet? And I
Yes.
think the best thing that you can actually do for yourself
Mm-hmm.
is only compare yourself to you. And the only way that you do that is not let things infiltrate your mind. So if you're stronger than social media, by all means go ahead and do it. But girl, I ain't.
I have my moments. I have my moments. Since doing this project, I've been like forcing myself to be on social media, even in the moments where I feel like I just don't want to post anything. But I'm like, shoot, I told the people that I was going to do an episode, and now I gotta, not
You
only do I
gotta
gotta,
stick to it.
yeah, I gotta stick to it. But
Yeah.
it's also that me doing this is also a commitment to myself to prove to myself that I can commit and be consistent in doing something that might be a little bit hard, but at the end of the day, I kind of enjoy
Yeah.
a lot. So
Yeah.
yeah. If you have any questions for Temese, you can drop them in the chat or you can drop them in a little question bubble box thing. Okay. Um, I asked people last week, what is something that they wish they could tell their younger self? So I'm going to ask you, what is something that you wish you could have told your younger self?
You are where you are and be present in that place, no matter what's happening.
Yeah.
And enjoy it, good, bad, or ugly.
Yeah. Are you taking that advice now?
I try to.
Okay.
But no, I do. But it's extremely it can be difficult, but I go back to thinking about all the times in the past that I was mad that I was in the position I was in, but there were lessons in life that I needed to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So God, who knows me better than I know myself, said to me, I got you here for a reason. There's one quote that my best friend used to tell me all the time. You cannot let your talents take you to places that your character cannot sustain you. I don't know that I had certain characters to sustain me in those places. Yeah. Yeah. And so you hear often all these stories. I wasn't there financially. I wasn't there mentally. I was comparing myself with everybody. And this was way before social media. I wasn't, it's a lot of things. So had I been more present when I was younger, I think I would have been able to absorb the life lessons that had presented themselves to me so that I could be a lot further in life. Yeah, because what happens is if you don't learn the lesson while you're there, you're going to have to repeat it. Right. And that's just going to slow progress. So, yeah.
Damn. All right. We do have a question. Hold up. Wait, the question bubble was there. Oh, I guess we didn't have a question. If y'all have questions, please drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Okay, so we have rehearsals beginning this weekend.
Miss Ebony. Hi, Miss Ebony.
Hi.
She said, who are my role models?
Ooh, yeah. Who are your role models? Who are people who inspired you?
Well, she's one.
Oh.
She's
Hello,
one.
role model. Hello, inspiration.
Her daughter Tamika Briscoe was one. And I ain't just saying this because you on here. Primarily because there are Black women who are very good at what they do. And they utilize their voices. Another person that isn't in the industry was my mom. My mom was a big inspiration to me. My mom is my entire inspiration for Confessions. My mother alone. And even though the show is about Black love that comes in all different forms, my mom was the epitome of Black love. So she is one of the primary inspirations for me. Yep.
That's good. What are you looking forward to in this next set of, over the coming months? We got rehearsals, we have the show. What are you looking forward to during this time?
I'm looking forward to learning the lessons that I didn't learn last time. So I ain't got to repeat them shits again.
Listen, I'm so tired of learning the same lesson.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, it's great to say that I cannot wait to get back in the rehearsal room with you, because I don't think people know, and I don't know if you could speak to this, but I feel like we have fun.
I enjoyed our rehearsals. I enjoyed the cast. We had a good time.
Yes, and a good time. It's fun when you're working, but you're having fun. The another thing that I think I'm looking forward to is the past. There were 9 of us, I think, or 8. They're 16 now.
Woo! That's a lot of people.
I know.
Okay, we ready. We ready.
So
listen,
I'm looking.
You did your show in March, and you was like, "Oh, I like this. I need more of this," and you doubled up. Okay.
I doubled up, yeah, because I got to get us to the next phase.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to meeting these new guys, and I'm looking forward to what it brings. And I'm gonna hate that I said this.
Oh boy.
But I'm looking forward to resolving all of the issues that come with production with grace.
Okay.
If that was a glass of wine, I'd have took the whole bottle. Because I don't do it with grace.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to learning how to do it with ease and grace, and knowing that having more faith in what God has prepared for us. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay. Now you also have a podcast.
I do, yeah.
Ain't No Love Lost.
Yes, which is part of Confessions.
Which is part of Confessions. So will you be doing additional episodes?
Yes, I know. It's been a while. The show has gotten me bogged because I've been trying to pitch the TV show and get investors. And then in addition to that, we're doing more theatrical shows, and really people don't realize how much theater takes up so much of your time. Yeah. So I do plan on doing I do plan on doing more episodes next year.
Okay.
I'm looking for a new host with me.
Okay.
And so you guys will see.
I know a girl.
Do you?
I know a girl.
Do you? Send them on my way.
I definitely will. If you have any questions, drop them. Because I think I'm out of questions. No, I'm not out of questions. If you had one word to describe what this year was for you, what would it be?
Challenging.
Challenging. Is that the year that... See, Ronnie, hold on. I thought you dropped the question, but I didn't see it. Drop it again. In January, did you think that this year would be as challenging as it was?
That's a good question. I don't think you ever know how challenging life is going to be. I've had a recent death that I'm dealing with, and you got to move through that. And I think my life is just challenging altogether because I'm extremely ambitious. Okay. And I'm thinking about the top so much. But one thing that I'm learning, right, is that I think every year will be challenging. So now I'm going into 2024 knowing that there's challenge, because every time you get to a new level, if you're not challenged in life, you're not moving forward. Right. So I'm getting challenge after challenge after challenge. And what is showing me is God is going to always take me to the next level. So as long as I can pass this where I'm at now, then there are going to be more challenges. Right. That's just life. They have a saying that new levels bring new devils. Right. And so they don't stop. You're just going to deal with it. So I didn't really understand that. And I think when I've been researching that life lessons, they challenges as long as you're moving forward. So it's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, Temese, I'm glad we had this conversation. I feel like I have so many more questions, and so many more ideas based on this conversation with you that we're going to have to talk about at a later date. But I just want to say thank you. Oh, wait. Oh, yes. Temese. So how have the last couple of months been for you with the writer's strike, the actor's strike, and how independent filmmakers who want to be in mainstream media could move? Like, what are the steps that independent filmmakers can make now to prepare for, hopefully, some sort of agreement between...
I don't think independent filmmakers need to worry about the writer's strike. I think that ain't our business. I think and let me tell you why. This strike has not affected me. I self-fund everything. I look for investors. The investors that I get are private. When you're an independent filmmaker, you don't have to worry about that unless you're trying to go to mainstream. The biggest problem that I think independent filmmakers could make, to me, is when you're once you try to get over to mainstream media, things just change. Like they just change in general, right? So right now, I think, and this is my 2 cents, that everybody who is independent has not had the same problems as people in mainstream media, because we are independent. I have continued to move. It has not affected me in the least bit.
So basically, independent filmmakers should just continue to do what they've been doing.
Yes.
Until
you get, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
well, but also, how would they set themselves up to become mainstream in the future?
I mean, that's a question that I can't, because everybody has a different path, right? So that's extremely difficult to sort of answer. And if I look at some people who were independent, like Issa Rae, because I haven't become mainstream, so I can't really fully speak to it. But when I look at somebody like Issa Rae, she built her own content.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that you could do it. You cannot try to be mainstream and let mainstream come to you so that you're fully in control. Because if you try to move from independent to mainstream, you're going to lose your independence. There's a reason why they say independent. You're going to lose a lot of your own creative control. You're going, yes, you might get the funding. Yes, you get the bigger budget. But remember, you're selling something to get that.
Yeah.
So for me, like my biggest inspiration is Issa Rae and Tyler Perry. One, because they allowed media to come to them. Yeah. And for me, I think that that's the biggest way. Another thing is, don't be beholding. I never thought we would be doing theater. And when things come to, and I say that because when things come to you, you have to be open to it. Yeah. And you have to be, I don't know if Miss Ebony is still here, but you got to be able to pivot. And when you're in mainstream, I don't know how much wiggle room that you have. Yeah. So I think the biggest way that you could set yourself up to keep working is content is king, and continue to get like a following, a base, and put in that sweat equity. Yeah. I think with Confessions, I've been doing it for so long, there's a lot of sweat equity there. Yeah. So yeah. I don't know if that answered the question.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the answer anyway. And yeah. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna see you in this weekend.
Yes, we're gonna see each other Saturday. So can I just do some shameless promotion real quick?
Please do some shameless promotion. Go for it.
Okay, so Confessions Live, and we've changed the name. It's not Confessions of a Serial Dater, it's Confessions. Is going to be live at the Tank in February. The dates are the 7th, the 13th, the 17th, and the 10th. Okay? And we would love to see you there. It is a wonderful theater, and I'm looking forward to the show. The show is bigger than it was, and it is better. And if you guys loved for those of you that were at the last show, if you love that, be prepared to be in for an emotional roller coaster, laughter and sadness and relatability.
I'm looking forward to it, even though Amber doesn't get to put hands on anybody. But
oh, wait till you see Amber, girl. Ooh, some new shit is happening with Amber.
I read it, and I'm excited. Let's go. Thank you again, Temese, so much for coming on. I'm glad that you are my finale. I'm
Oh,
glad
thank
that you
you.
are my finale. I've been doing this for a couple months. I've been doing this since June. I'm glad I got you to come on. I'm glad that you're my finale. You gave some really wonderful answers, some really amazing insight into dating as a Black woman, dating in your 30s, dating as a single mom. We should have, I should just have you be like the dating expert or something, because
Look, I know about it, but I ain't got it.
for those of
Living
you
the real life Alana.
huh?
That's me. I'm living the real life Alana.
Listen. I
Yeah.
can't wait, y'all. I can't wait. Y'all can't wait. Please
Yes.
go follow Temese at
Yeah.
BQTV, BECUTETV. I love
Yes.
that.
Yes.
BECUTETV.
Yes.
Okay, and if you're
Yes.
not following me over here at Shifts and Giggles, follow at Shifts Giggles, SHIFTS GIGGLES. You know,
Tongue twister, girl.
for the longest time, I used to be like, "Hi, welcome to Shits and Giggles," and I'm like, "That's not the damn name of the show." Oh my gosh! Thank y'all for tuning in. For those of you who have been here from the beginning to the end, I appreciate you. I'll be back for season 2 in 2024 after
The
the
show.
show Confessions, the stage play in February at the Tank. Please follow Temese, follow me. We'll give y'all the details. Y'all come to the show, and then the week after, we're back again. My edible has kicked in. I gotta go.
Well, I love you. I love you. I
I
love
love
you,
you.
Rashida, and I
Thank
look
you.
forward to
Thank
seeing you this weekend.
you. Same. Mwah, 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 mwah. Have a wonderful night, Temese, and have a wonderful night, everybody.
Bye, guys. Bye.